Merry December everyone, let's kick it off with a banger, shall we? Well, technically this isn't the first video I've made in December, so perhaps it's more appropriate if I say let's continue with releasing some bangers instead. I for one am glad we've finally made it to December, cause that marks the end of not November. And good riddance, cause I was really having a hard time laying off on breaking the challenge. But alas, now that the new month has come, I can finally munch on some peanuts at my own will. Anyways, the results don't lie, and you guys have spoken from yesterday's poll, so as most requested, we're back with some more Hypersonic Tower showcases, modded edition. I'll talk more about the new polling/community feature among other topics in a bit, but for now we must begin the showcase with 3 more Jambot created towers. It's a mod I haven't played in a while aside from making these showcases, but there's been a couple of updates to it recently, so it's likely I'll get to some real gameplay of the new towers and whatnot in a future episode. At the moment we'll stick to old towers to overcharge, starting with the one and only Monkey Ace. I don't really have a name for this modded tower other than its original classic name because 1, I'm too lazy to see if the creators have given it a name, and 2, not much has changed about it theme-wise. It still flies around like a normal plane shooting out darts and shit, just in a different way. When it's overclocked 6 times, this is the kind of destruction it makes. However, it can't handle these hyperclumped ceramics, and that's because 6 isn't enough to give the darts a lot of popping power, hence why they were able to slip through. Trust me, I have no doubt those ceramics would have been obliterated if I threw a few more call to arms under it, or perhaps simply upgraded the Ace up to 1-1, which it is at now. I did 2 upgrades at once here because the left side was faster firing, and as you should know by now, attack speed upgrades are useless in these scenarios since they already fire at the max speed possible. But what a world of a difference does firing 4 darts at once instead of 2 makes. Probably 2 times as much of a difference, but correct me if I'm wrong, history isn't quite my strong point. I think we've seen enough here, so let's check out the 2 Ace, skipping yet again another upgrade cause one of them just gives combo detection. The other upgrade is a difference maker though, it adds a green layer to the darts which deal twice the damage to ceramics and Moabs. Is it enough to take down a ZOMG? Just watch and see. The answer is yes, because BFBs don't exist in this mod and instead they just drop straight to Moabs, which kind of sucks because with such OP towers it'd be cool to see some more OP Bloons to match up against it. Oh well, I guess that means on to the next. The 3rd tier left side, which gives you some dank homing missiles on top of the darts, essentially making the fast cooldown ZOMGs drop 2 times faster. And yeah, add that all up together and it's pretty OP, and don't even get me started with the 4th tier, which makes the rockets do even more damage. You'll barely see any Bloons appear on the track before they get wiped. Speaking of tracks, you might notice that it's not your usual battles track. In fact, chances are you've probably never even seen this map before. I don't blame you either, cause no one plays BTD 5 co-op. This is a map that I believe Jambot ported over from BTD 5 onto the mod, which is pretty neat. The dimensions are perfect for each side by design too. Sure is a fun map to test on, although I'm sure one player won't be having much fun. If this were to be played on a real match, you could even say one player has an unfair share. Anyways, if you want to see some lasers, then here you go. It's the 3rd tier right side upgrade for the modded Ace. Not quite as strong as the left side, but still a delight to watch those red pellets go to work. Lastly comes the ability, which I'm not 100% sure is affected by the call to arms, because what you see right now is similar to what it does normally, a barrage of exploding pineapples. Whatever, figuring out the answer to that isn't really that important. You probably just want to see the next tower at this point, so let me whip out my shiny hacker monkey. It didn't quite shoot at max speed at 6 call to arms stacks, so I added a couple more to achieve maximum power. Here's how it does versus a Moab with its low-level upgrades purchased. Considering it's only 1 damage per explosion, it shouldn't be too surprising that it's struggling, with it barely being able to pop the Moab before reaching the exit. Nonetheless, no lives were lost. Now this next part isn't to show the power of the hacker monkey, rather to show you how it looks as the following upgrade grants money every time it fires. Pretty funny to see all these 10s popping up here. It almost looks as though they are being triggered. Triggering intensifies. Alright, perhaps with the power of these triggered money signs we can finally take down these Moabs with ease. Totally not like the 4th tier hacker monkey explosion and its 5-layer damage has anything to do with it, definitely not. So Moabs were a piece of cake, how about ZOMGs? Looks like this is going to be tight, so pause the video, cause we bringing back the millionaire polls. With $1 million on the line, here's the question, can the hacker monkey take it down by itself? You have until the music stops, make your guess and comment below. Roll the clip, ladies and gentlemen. Also, don't change your vote if you get the answer wrong. If you do that, you'll have to owe me $1 million instead. So the pessimists win this time. The hacker monkey wasn't even able to crack the ZOMG layer, although it was really damn close. It just needed a slightly longer track. Maybe the right side could lend a hand. Cough cough. Anyways, let's showcase the Hypersonic Ice Hacker Monkey alongside this one. Perhaps these two in combination will be able to complete the job. Just if you're uninformed, the Ice Hacker Monkey upgrade slows down all Moabs it hits by 50%, so it's no surprise it got taken down more and less near the halfway mark. I have to say though, this constant ice explosion animation is looking pretty lit, so I have a silly idea. Why not fill the map until the entire screen is full of snow? Cause who needs fireworks when you can stare into this instead? While I'm in the process of doing that, let me just touch on that thing I was talking about earlier at the start of the video, the community tab. If you were using the YouTube app, you probably would have seen a poll made by me in your sub feed recently. And that's all thanks to YouTube's new feature which allows you to essentially run a Twitter feed on their website, which is actually really useful for people like me whose following is 99% from YouTube. If I post something on my inactive Twitter, chances are 20 people will see it max, but this community feature allows me to interact with you guys a hell of a lot better, so keep on a lookout on future posts by me cause I may share some random things from time to time, whether it be a poll, image, video, or a fresh new copy pasta. And just a reminder that you can only view these posts from your sub-feed on your phone, but that's what almost everyone is using to do shit nowadays, so not too big of a deal, although it'd be nice to get it on all platforms eventually. Alrighty, hope you enjoyed that ice show cause I sure did. Now to end the video off. Just kidding, there's one more tower left to show and that's the thing in the thumbnail, the Galactic Tower. You may be curious to see that certain upgrade in action, but for now we have to get through the quote-unquote boring parts. Luckily for you there isn't much to see in half of these upgrades because they don't affect its visuals or power at all, so here's some footage of the basic Galactic Tower, which is not quite strong enough to handle a ZOMG on its own. But here's what you've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, unleash the powerful yellow balls of death, shooting out in 8 different directions and following the Galactic Tower's position. Watching them heat-seek the balloons is pretty damn awesome as well. There's just so many yellow balls that do so much damage that you can't even see the balloons enter the screen. Perhaps it may be worth selling some of the call to arms and see if there's a difference. Sure is a noticeable one. As you can see, the yellow balls are a lot less dense, and they don't instantly kill the balloons, so you can at least witness all of them change direction before going back into position. It was fun, I guess. We got a couple more to go, so let's wrap them up quickly. The Hypersonic Galactic Ray of Doom does exactly what you'd expect, but it's so strong it doesn't even need to be influenced by the call to arms to achieve this level of power. The last tower upgrade to note is the ability. In case you're wondering, I skipped the third tier right side cause you hardly notice any difference with it. Now just to remind you all, the Galactic Tower has two abilities. Since it replaces the heli pilot, one of them isn't changed by this hypersonic effect, but the other one gets a little bit of an upgrade to say the least. I'll let the visuals do the talking while I wrap this up. I'm running out of towers to village boost on this mod, so chances are I'll start hopping to other mods in future hypersonic videos, so stay tuned for that. That's all I have to say really. Again, it seems the majority prefer these kinds of spectacles, so make sure to smash that like button to back up that support. By the way, that hypersonic ability was dope as hell. I had to sell some call to arms abilities beforehand because I knew shit was about to go to lag town. Have a snowy day.